Alright, budget magic time. Playing some mono white servos in standard. Implement of combustion. Well, plains and toolcraft exemplar. Plains is actually good. We did need another land. Pass turn. Opponent has another mountain. What are we up against? Ooh, Ravenous Intruder. That's spicy. We could use a 2-drop of some kind, or a plains. Alright, pass the turn. Well, next turn we could start playing stuff. And we have a bunch of lords. Triple Lord Aethersphere Harvester. Terrarion. This almost feels like a Pia's Revolution deck. Ornithopter for our opponent. Gets in with Ravenous Intruder. Alright. Down to 19. Another plains. Well, no more lands now. We got our 5 lands. Let's leave it at that. Aethersphere comes down, gets us some energy, triggers our Toolcraft Exemplar, and we might as well start attacking. Not really planning on blocking this turn. This thing can hit us for a lot. The good news is Servo schematic. Alright. Good news is we're going to start making chump blockers pretty soon. Sacks, the implement. Draws our opponent a card. They can do that with Terrarion as 2. Servo schematic gets another pump, another servo. I mean, they can't kill us here, though. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Another implement. Sacks it. Yeah, it's a big Ravenous Intruder. Trying to atog its way to victory. Pretty sweet. I wonder if this is actually a legitimate long-term strategy, though. Opponent gets in, down to 10. We get another Aethersphere Harvester. Oh, play the Plains. Play Chief of the Foundry. Trigger Toolcraft. And I think we got a pass. We don't want to just somehow die to Ravenous Intruder. That would be pretty bad. And not technically impossible. Opponent has a Scrap Trawler, and a land, and Terrarion. Attacks. Well, let's crew this. Make our opponent sack some stuff if they want to keep their intruder alive. Also gain us some life. Alright, there's 1 sack. 2 sack. Terrarion draws a card. Scrap Trawler lets our opponent get back a Ornithopter. And sacks. Well, we will give it lifelink. So we lose our Aethersphere Harvester. Opponent had to sack a lot of their board. Replays the Ornithopter. We get a land. So 1, 2, Metallic Mimic on Servo, and Aethersphere Harvester. Our opponent's deck is pretty sweet. I do wonder a bit how it works when our opponent doesn't have a turn 2 Ravenous Intruder. If you had like 8 or 10 of these effects, I could imagine this deck being super awesome. And maybe it's good enough with just 4. I just imagine that being one of the big sticking points. Or, I mean, we haven't drawn any removal, but what happens if Ravenous Intruder just dies or something? Tap land for our opponent. And Walking Ballista goes to combat. And passes. Alright. We get another Toolcraft. This Ballista is a bit problematic here. Well, let's Chief of the Foundry. Crew up our Aethersphere Harvester. Go to combat. Alright, shoots down Toolcraft. Yep. Well, we attack. Give it lifelink. Play another Toolcraft. And pass the turn. Opponent is down to 9. Alright, shoots down our Toolcraft. They must have an implement or something that they're going to use to get back Walking Ballista. Foundry Inspector. Oh, this Intruder. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be overly worried. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we're going to take it. What's the worst that can happen here? No Walking Ballista means we get to get our Angel down too, and it's going to be pretty sweet. So, Angel of Invention. Definitely making servos. They're just 5/5s. Crew up our Ether Sphere Harvester. Jeez, those servos are so big. And let's go full out attack. Opponent jumps. Jumps. Alright, gonna trade with Metallic Mimic. Well, Metallic Mimic has already done its job. Gave us the counters, so... We're not gonna spend an energy, because our opponent can always sack. Let's see what our opponent gets back here. Walking Ballista. Yup. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent's at 1. And I don't think our opponent can kill us here. I mean, they can shoot down our Angel of Invention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's basically all? I do like the idea of this deck, though. Implement of Malice. Bonus exit. This is like a sweet combo deck with the Scrap Trawler. So now they can like get back another implement, sack it. But while this is super sweet, I'm not expecting this to work. I think our board is just too wide and too big. Ornithopter, another blocker. Okay. Implement, sure. Sacks the Ornithopter. Sacks the Implement. Is there really a way our opponent can win the game here? Gets back Ornithopter. Sacks it. Oh, it's an Implement. I mean, they are comboing off. Draws another card. Gets the Ornithopter. Up to 9 power. I'm assuming the plan is to give it Trample, but I don't think that's enough. It's just not going to be quite big enough. Definitely going to want to bring in removal for this thing. And our opponent, whoo! Man, that deck is awesome. I really like our opponent's deck. I don't know if it's good, but it is super sweet. So I just want to bring in things that kills our opponent's things as much as possible. What are we going down? Animation module down. I think we're actually just going to go down Tool Crafts. Makes us a little less aggressive, but I think that's okay if we're more able to kill our opponent's stuff. 1 Angel, 1 Stasis Snare. Angel's kind of sketchy against our opponent's deck to some extent. Now what? Double Fragmentize is sweet. Stasis Snare is sweet. I think we got a mulligan, though. This hand... Oh, I wish we kept the first horrible hand. There's a mountain for our opponent and an implement of improvement. This is just like implement.deck. Alright, pass the turn. We do have a Stasis Snare to get rid of Ravenous Intruder or Scrap Trawler. Those seem to be the 2 cards that are very good. Oh boy. We are experts. Cogworker's Puzzle Knot gives us a 1/1. And we'll pass the turn. Another implement. And passes. Well, land is actually super awesome. Play Cogworker's Puzzle Knot. Get a 1/1. Attack with a Servo. Well, we might actually get to play our Strom's Expertise after all. Normally, drawing all of our expensive stuff can be a problem, but we're only a land away. It might be happening. Walking Ballista, X1. Well, let's go attacking. Opponent takes it, we pass. Sacks the Implement, draws a card. Down to 19. Ooh. Alright, well, let's go for the freebie. Sack the Cogworker's Puzzle Knot. I don't know if our opponent realized that we could sack that at instant speed. Because this seems like a pretty reasonable trade for us. Alright, opponent lets our Servo live and pings us. Okay, and passes. We get a Fragmentize. Well, maybe we're not going to get to cast our Strom's Expertises anyway. Oh, it's so funny because it looked like our opponent was thinking about shocking there, one of our servos, and oh, it's so painful. I mean, sometimes it's necessary, but when you got an opponent's deck that's just making tokens, it's like casting a Path to Exile on a Lingering Souls token. It never feels good. Even when it's clearly the right play, it just never feels good. Our opponent's going to be happy that they save that, because that's going to let them shock our Lord instead. Yep, there's the shock. Now I definitely wish our opponent had shocked a servo. But I think we're still getting there. So this is kind of what we pictured in game one, that this deck is super sweet when it has Ravenous Intruder in specific, but when it draws its pieces. But when it doesn't get its pieces, things are a bit sketchier. Black mana off the Spire of Industry. Oh, is this Battle at the Bridge? Sly Requisitioner. Man, this is a spicy brew. Oh god. Play Metallic Mimic on a servo. Another shock. Alright, do we even want to attack? Let's not. I think our things get better. The problem is our opponent's going to start getting servos every time they sack an artifact. Foundry Inspector. Implement of Combustion. For free. Opponent passes. Not a land. Well, play Chief for the Foundry. Is this Ceremonious Rejection? Oh, Metallic Rebuke. Okay. Yep. Well, pass the turn. Hope nothing goes horribly wrong. Our opponent's going to start making a bunch of tokens. They're only got one card in hand, though. They're going to start drawing cards when the implements die. I am not sure how this goes for either of us. This should be fairly interesting. Alright, sacks it. Gains some life. Gets a 1/1. Draws a card. Oh, is this Intruder? Oh, Servo Schematic. Okay. Well, if they find a Ravenous Intruder, that's going to be pretty awesome. Only one card in hand, though. Sacks the Implement, gets a 1/1. And passes. Well, let's Fragmentize Foundry Inspector. Opponent gets a 1/1. And we'll play Servo Exhibition. Oh my goodness. We're up to turn 9. Turn 9! That is a lot of turns. Is this another rebuke? Alright, opponent counters. Oh, lordy, lordy. Turn 9, still have those 3 Servos expertise. I think they've been in our hand since turn 2 at least. They have not gotten to cast one yet. Oh, what's our opponent have now? 4 mana. Walking Ballista, X2. Going to get frisky. Well, I think this is fine. Kill all the servos. Stasis Snare. It's not going to happen. Turn 10. Still have the Servos expertises. Oh, could you imagine if we could have cast these? Really? Another rebuke? Rebuke number 3? Just a handful of metallic rebukes? Yup. Alright, well, we officially have our opponent 100% out of cards. Unfortunately, we have not drawn our 4th land, and it's turn 10. 10! Well, opponent's turn 11. Well, we've burnt our opponent through their defenses. Their defenses are gone. Another Sly Requisitioner. Opponent's going to get frisky. Gets in with both. There it is. Good God. So, Servos expertise. Metallic Mimic. Timing is definitely awkward on that one. We'd much rather have Metallic Mimic first, but pass the turn. If our opponent peels like a Ravenous Intruder right here, we're kind of in trouble. Oh no. Scrap Trawler. Okay, that doesn't do much yet. Shoots down our creature. Shoots down a servo. Sacks the implement. Gets back a walking ballista. This is not going well. We were stuck on 3 lands for way too long. And our opponent is slyly getting there. Another implement. Gotta be what our opponent wanted. Gonna go attacking? Well, we will certainly kill a Sly Requisitioner. I have a feeling we're gonna draw a string of lands now, which is exactly the opposite of what we want. Emulating Glare. Well, Servos expertise. Pass the turn. I think it's actually scoop time. We just too clunky. Walking Ballista for our opponent. Shoots down a servo. Shoots down a servo. Then they get to get it back again. With the implement, get another 1/1. Goes up to 10. Yeah, that's good enough for us. Well, that was some awkward drawing there. Alright, let's run it back. I think this setup is good. We just, 3 lands on turn 11 is not good. Alright, come on, deck. Be nice to us for once. Once in your life. Well, let's spin the wheel. Triple Lord with a Cogworker's Puzzle Knot. So, if we draw a 3rd land, this hand will be pretty reasonable. If we're sitting here on turn 9, turn 10, with 2 lands... Alright, well, Metallic Mimic on Servo. No land yet. Pass the turn. Come on, deck. One time. One time, just be nice. Opponent. Walking Ballista. Hooray. Gonna kill our Metallic Mimic. Yup. Do we draw land? No, we don't. Cogworker's Puzzle Knot go. Oh, my Lou. Oh, my lord. Well, this is how it ends. Oh, this deck is so good at doing this somehow. It's really borderline absurd. Pass the turn. And we have 23 lands. 23 lands, 4 4-drops, 4 5-drops. So everything else is 1, 2, or 3 mana. Opponent, meanwhile, they have the nuts. Ravenous Intruder, Scrap Trawler, and Implement. That is, I think, their best possible draw. Or at least, and the Walking Ballista to get back. So, yeah, that's the nuts. Well, unfortunately, this happened way too late. Like, so many turns too late. Turn 5, land number 3, but the damage is done. Our opponent already has the combo set up. Oh, wow. Well, this is not how I was planning on losing this match, but opponent plays a land. Sacks Implement, draws a card, gets back the Walking Ballista that they can cast X2. Another Implement, goes to combat, attacks, we take it. Sacks Implement. Well, technically we'll still be playing Magic if we draw a land here, because we can play another Lord and kill the Scrap Trawler. Foundry Inspector, and passes. Not a land, but a Sram's Expertise that we can't cast. Well, Chief of the Foundry. I mean, this is all we can do. Opponent trades off the Chief of the Foundry. We needed a land. If we could have done this and fragmentized the Scrap Trawler, we could have won. But now I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this actual turn. Implement of Combustion. Ballista X1 for our opponent. Another Walking Ballista X1. Opponent passes. We do get a land. Well, play a land. Play Sram's Expertise. Fragmentize the Scrap Trawler. Whew! Well, it took till turn 7, but we found our 4th land. Pings. Sacks. Pings. Our opponent's deck is super sweet. I kind of want to play our opponent's deck now. And it's been more competitive than I imagined. What's Scrap Trawler getting back? Timing out is also a concern. Gets back an Implement. And shocks. Well, we just got to pass the turn. I'm feeling better about where we're at now. That was a big swing to draw that 4th land and allow us to get rid of Scrap Trawler, which was hugely problematic. And also put 3 bodies on the board. Sram's Expertise is pretty good. Well, that's our opponent have. Walking Ballista X2. And the Implement. No attacks. There's a land. Oh, play a Plains. Play Master. Lord number 2 on the battlefield. Go to combat. Attack with all of our servos. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Okay. Pings. And pings. Alright, Ballista down. Now our opponent's got to sack the Implement. Draws a card. Still takes 6. And we pass. So now our plan is just sack Cogworker's Puzzle Knot at the end of our opponent's turn. Or to make a chump blocker if something crazy happens. Come on, not Scrap Trawler. Alright, Pia's Revolution. Man, this deck is so spicy. Ornithopter for our opponent. Walking Ballista. X1. Well, Cogworker's Puzzle Knot. Ether Sphere Harvester. Angel of Invention. And hopefully this finally closes the door on our opponent's super sweet deck. We gotta find this list somewhere. Fabricate, make some servos. And our opponent scoops it up. Wow, so we pulled out the win. Mana troubles along the way, and we got to see some Ultra Spice. Our opponent's deck was super, super awesome. I really want to play that deck now. It's probably not great, but it looks so cool. The combo turds with Scrap Trawler, I was amazingly impressed by Scrap Trawler. Normally, Scrap Trawler doesn't look that great, but it was insane in that match. So much value. Wow. All right. Sweet.